Bublé told the outlet he's turned down joining The Voice about 15 to 16 times, partially because he didn't want the pressure of judging other vocalists. But thank God we're not judges. The other shows have judges, we are coaches, he said. Michael Bublé reveals he always dreamed of working with Snoop Dogg before The Voice. "I love you so much," exclusive. "And the reason I say that is because most of the singers are better than me, and I have no place ever judging anyone," added the singer. "So, to get to coach them and live the fantasy of having this career that I've had, and then get to have the fulfillment of helping someone else get that. That's the cool part." When it comes to being in the spotlight, Michael Bublé is no joke. With his silky voice, ageless charm, and classics, the Canadian crooner has been able to captivate audiences all over the world for more than 20 years. The flawless versions of songs ranging from Sinatra to contemporary music that he has performed have garnered him a large number of followers, Grammy Awards, and a reputation as one of the most influential vocalists of his generation. Nevertheless, Bublé discloses in a recent interview that he has consistently declined an opportunity to participate in The Voice. The reason for his refusal is as shocking as it is humble, and it is a reason that he has repeatedly declined. In what may be considered a deviation from his typically self-assured public persona, Bublé has admitted that he has declined the offer to serve as a coach on The Voice at least 15 times. This includes the opportunity to participate in the highly anticipated 26th season of the popular singing competition. When he says, "I know what people expect of me," he does it with a small laugh, as if he is pondering a joke that only he fully comprehends. However, the fact of the matter is that I have never been eager to participate in the performance. Countless times, I've been presented with the opportunity to take on the role, and I have declined each and every one of them. "I do not wish to be a fake coach," the speaker said. The most important factor that led to Bublé's decision to decline an appearance on The Voice was his understanding of the requirements necessary to be a good coach. He notes that many of the show's former and current coaches, such as Blake Shelton, Kelly Clarkson, and John Legend, have built their careers not only on their skill, but also on their ability to guide, motivate, and cultivate aspiring artists. He says that this is something that they have done throughout their careers. "You have to be able to give something more than just advice on vocal technique," Bublé says in her introduction. "It is necessary for you to have the ability to guide and mold folks, as well as to assist them in developing as artists and as humans. It is a big duty to take on." Despite the fact that Bublé is a talented vocalist, he acknowledges that he does not believe he possesses the skill set that is required to guide other musicians in such a meaningful manner. "I'm just not sure I'm the right person to help someone go from being a raw talent to someone ready to take on the music industry," he adds, with a hint of humility audible in his voice. "I'm just not sure I'm the right person to help someone go. There are times when I'm still trying to figure out how to be an artist myself. The concept of serving as a guide in such a manner, in front of millions of people as an example, it would make me feel like a phony." The pressure that comes from the competitive nature of The Voice. Bublé admits that his reluctance to participate in the highly competitive atmosphere of the program is another reason for his persistence in declining the opportunity to participate. Every second is important on The Voice, and the stakes are quite high. When it comes to making decisions that could have a significant impact on an artist's career in the industry, coaches have a limited amount of time. When it comes to the harsh atmosphere of reality television, Bublé is not shy about expressing his concerns. His explanation is as follows: "I've been in the business for a sufficient amount of time to know that there are incredible singers out there who just need a shot. When you are competing on The Voice, however, everything revolves on the big moment, including the blind auditions, the battle rounds, and the live shows. A distinct type of pressure is being exerted, one that is not usually about artistic ability, but rather about the entertainment value." In spite of the fact that Bublé is aware of the enormous talent that is displayed on The Voice, he is hesitant to participate in the intensely competitive environment that exists on the show. "I am a believer that true artistry originates from the heart, and not from who can shout the loudest or get the highest note. That's not what I want to be part of, at least not in the way The Voice operates. An artist's uncertainty and exposure." A more profound reality lies at the center of Bublé's reluctance, and that is his own potential for vulnerability as an artist. His unusual style and approach to music, which is anchored in the past, but also communicates to contemporary audiences, have made him an icon of classic standards for many years. He has held this position for a considerable amount of time. Nevertheless, Billy Bublé has always been self-aware of the distinctions between his genre and the pop-heavy environment of The Voice, despite the fact that he has achieved unprecedented levels of success. "Listen, I'm a jazz and big band singer," he has no problem admitting openly. "As a result of the fact that I am not a pop star, I am not currently attempting to emulate the success of all of these young and talented vocalists. When it comes to performances of that style of singing, a significant number of the individuals who try out for that show are more talented than I am. The high notes that they are able to shout out are accompanied by voices that are equally as strong. It is not anything I am ashamed to admit. I am aware that I am not that kind of singer." In light of the fact that Bublé has developed a career worth several millions of dollars and has captivated audiences all over the world, his degree of modesty in this situation is remarkable. On the other hand, it is also indicative of his determination to be faithful to his craft, and perhaps more crucially, to avoid any false illusion of knowledge in a field that is not his own. With a softer tone, he says, "I think the most difficult part of saying no to The Voice was understanding that it wasn't about me being too good for it or thinking I was above it." He says this as his voice becomes more gentle. "The realization that my approach and my voice are distinct from the kind of artistic expression that those contestants are aiming for was the driving force behind this. There has never been a time when I've wished to act like someone I'm not. That is not something that I believe is fair to them." An emotional discussion regarding the art of crafting. Bublé does express admiration for the competitors on The Voice, despite the fact that he has some misgivings about them. The ability for unsigned musicians to express their talents is a beautiful thing, according to him, and he underscores the significance of venues that elevate fresh voices. He says, "Every time I watch those children, they impress me to the point of amazement. Some of them have voices that are so unadulterated and unfiltered that it is truly remarkable to witness. My favorite thing to do is to watch them venture out of their comfort zones and take risks. Because I have always been a firm believer in challenging yourself, I can readily relate to what you were saying. However, I do not believe that I am the appropriate person to coach them." Michael Bublé's decision to withdraw from the spotlight on The Voice is a significant indication of his genuineness as an artist. In a world when celebrities frequently appear to step into the spotlight without hesitation, this decision speaks volumes about his authenticity. This is a rare sort of self-awareness that is not frequently seen in the realm of reality television, and it is exemplified by his refusal to compromise his integrity for the sake of another television show. Does this mean that we are done talking? No, not quite. Even while Bublé is adamant about his decision to not participate in The Voice, at least for the time being, he does not rule out the possibility of participating in the show in the future. The possibility that things might shift in the future is something that he does accept with a smile. "I'm not claiming that it will last forever." With a humorous shrug, he continues, "Perhaps in the future, I will have a different opinion. But for the time being, I'm going to stick to what I know, which is making music," she said. As Bublé's devoted followers eagerly anticipate the release of his next album or concert tour, the fact that he has chosen to remain authentic only serves to strengthen the bond that he shares with his audience. There is one thing that can be said with absolute certainty, regardless of whether or not Michael Bublé ever makes an appearance as a coach on The Voice. His music and his genuineness as an artist will continue to speak louder than any elaborate television gig could ever hope to. In a society that is dominated by competitiveness and show, Michael Bublé's humility serves as a reminder that, in the end, the most important thing is to be true to oneself. The crooner has been teaching us for years that the voice that truly resonates with us is not always the one that is the loudest. Sometimes, it is the one that is aware of when it is appropriate to remain silent.